So, Johnny, if you want to keep f***ing around and talking shit, I'll just have some of my untouchable friends in really high places in Korea pay you a visit.
Johnny Somali might never leave South Korea, and it's not just the legal system keeping him there. The inmates reportedly have their own plans. His habit of stirring up controversy for attention has finally backfired, and he's made enough enemies to potentially keep him behind bars indefinitely. After insulting the statue of Comfort Women, a powerful symbol of South Korea's resilience and history, he claimed ignorance, saying he had no clue what the statue represented.
Say right now, I want to apologize to the Korean people. I was not aware of the significance of the statue. I was trying to get, you know what I mean? It was just entertainment for my audience.
He shrugged it off, insisting he didn't know the historical significance or what the statue stood for. But here's the kicker. He went as far as mocking the statue in the most disrespectful way imaginable, leaving people furious worldwide.
Oh my God, yo. This is what I was looking for.
Actually?
Yeah.
Videos of him behaving outrageously around the statue have circulated widely, enraging everyone who values the monument's meaning. From prison guards to law enforcement and even the inmates, it seems everyone who's seen his antics is outraged. They view his actions as a direct insult to their culture and the memory of those who suffered, and tensions are running high. There are growing whispers that the Korean Mafia has its eyes on him, and if they manage to catch him, his fate might already be sealed. The situation has taken a dark turn, with rumors spreading that even his family and close friends are desperately reaching out to the U.S. Embassy in Korea, hoping to negotiate a way out. However, his history doesn't help his case. After being booted out of Japan for his questionable behavior and carrying a highly controversial reputation, it's no surprise the embassy is keeping its distance. They've made it clear that they aren't stepping in to rescue him. The responsibility is left squarely in the hands of the Korean authorities, who are more than ready to deal with him as they see fit. The embassy doesn't have any obligation to secure his release or even provide him with legal support. At best, they can help his family figure out the bureaucratic maze, but honestly, after the level of disrespect he's shown, does anyone really believe he deserves any intervention? Somali has burned bridges in every direction. With no embassy aid and mounting legal troubles, his only path forward is through the South Korean justice system. And let's not forget, South Korea has zero tolerance for drug offenses and cultural insults. If he thinks he's walking out of this unscathed, he's in for a brutal reality check. Somali is practically cornered, and South Korea isn't showing any signs of leniency. They're prepared to handle him with the full weight of the law, and escape from this mess is looking impossible. What's really going to crush Somali isn't just the legal system, it's the wrath of the South Korean public. He's trapped in the country, and there are reportedly dozens of people who wouldn't hesitate to take revenge. His disrespect toward the Statue of Peace, a powerful symbol of resilience, has left a stain that the public won't forgive. To make things worse, the prisoners have already caught wind of his antics, and let's just say, they're not exactly fans of his behavior. One person even vowed they'd catch him again, and it's clear that sentiment is widely shared. While his legal case drags on, he'll likely stay in detention, which is infamous for being far harsher than U.S. prisons. In there, survival is no small feat. Somali's frail build and apparent lack of physical toughness will make him an easy target. Between the guards and the inmates, attacks are almost inevitable. Even if he manages to escape life-threatening harm, injuries and humiliation seem unavoidable. He's ill-equipped to endure the brutal reality of prison life in South Korea, and that's just the physical side. Socially, he's likely to be completely ostracized. The inmates won't want anything to do with him, and the relentless isolation will break him. Fear, loneliness, and constant anxiety will take their toll, leaving him mentally shattered in no time. His downfall feels like a natural consequence of his choices, and frankly, it's hard to muster any sympathy for him. He was warned after his controversial behavior in Japan, but he ignored every caution. Now, the consequences are catching up, and he's left to face the storm he created. South Korean prisons are notorious for their strict conditions and lack of comfort. Small claustrophobic cells, rigid daily routines, and food that's far from palatable are just the beginning of what Somali is likely to endure. Add to that the fact that both guards and inmates will likely view him as an insult to their culture, and it's clear he's in for an exceptionally rough time. Communication in these prisons is entirely in Korean, and given that Somali probably doesn't know the language, he'll be trapped in a bubble of confusion and isolation, unable to understand the announcements or even ask for basic help. The mental toll of this isolation is bound to hit hard. Being cut off from social interactions and treated like a complete outcast is enough to push anyone to the brink. And just when you think it couldn't get worse, Somali has decided to stir up even more trouble. This time, he's crossed a new line that has left people fuming. He created an AI-generated video designed to make it look like he was in a romantic relationship with a Korean woman. The video showed him kissing the woman, but let's be honest, his track record and reputation make it hard to believe anyone would willingly associate with him like that. The twist, however, is how disturbingly real the video appeared. It wasn't just a poorly rendered AI clip you could dismiss at a glance. It was shockingly convincing. And here's the kicker. Somali didn't just conjure the woman out of thin air. He used actual photos of a popular Korean streamer to create the illusion. This grotesque violation has sparked outrage, adding yet another layer of animosity against him. When the video reached the woman it targeted, she was furious and decided to press charges immediately. However, the backlash from Somali's fans on social media was overwhelming. They launched vicious online attacks against her, creating such a storm of negativity that she felt pressured to drop the charges, not wanting to deal with the chaos. But this wasn't the end of the story. Somali might have thought he dodged a bullet, but the South Korean government wasn't about to let him off so easily. They stepped in to take action, viewing his creation of explicit AI content, using the image of an unsuspecting woman, as a serious violation. The government is now pursuing charges against him, and the consequences are staggering. He's looking at up to 7 years in prison for this incident alone, and that's on top of the potential 10 years he could face for desecrating the Comfort Women statue, a grave insult to South Korea's history and culture. If convicted, Somali could be staring at a combined 17 years behind bars. What's worse is that he's stuck in South Korea while the courts decide his fate. He ignored countless warnings from locals, the media, and even physical altercations meant to make him realize the seriousness of his behavior. Yet, he continued with the same reckless, disrespectful antics, all for fleeting internet clout. Now, those stunts are set to cost him everything. To top it off, reports suggest that one of Johnny Somali's Korean acquaintances played a role in arranging the trip that started this downward spiral. This so-called friend might have unknowingly set the stage for Somali's downfall, as his actions have now escalated to a level that could destroy his entire life. The same acquaintance who reportedly helped Somali avoid confrontation during a tense situation when locals were upset with him is facing legal troubles of his own. This individual, with a controversial history of promoting harmful ideologies, provided Somali temporary refuge before being arrested. Somali's association with such individuals adds another layer to the issues surrounding him. Currently, Somali is under investigation for a range of serious allegations, including inappropriate behavior, public disturbances, obstruction of business, and the creation of explicit AI-generated content. Reports also suggest authorities are examining claims that he acted inappropriately toward young individuals, sparking widespread concern and additional inquiries. Additionally, there are accusations that he has been persistently bothering women, raising alarms about his behavior. These allegations have caused significant public outrage, and some Korean politicians are using his case to call for stricter legal actions, aligning with public sentiment and demonstrating their commitment to justice. Somali's actions have become a focal point in debates about cultural respect and the consequences of misconduct. In simple terms, Somali is facing a highly challenging situation with little room for reprieve. If he ends up serving time, his reputation and the controversies surrounding him could make his experience particularly isolating and difficult. His actions have created a storm of legal and social consequences, leaving him with no clear way out of the predicament he now faces. Many are speculating about Somali's current situation, with some questioning where he might be hiding and how much money he has left. Rumors suggest he's been begging for cryptocurrency donations, but it seems his efforts aren't yielding much. Some are hopeful his resources will dry up quickly, expressing their frustration and desire to see him face consequences. Criticism of his behavior is widespread, with users pointing out how insincere his apologies appear. One commenter noted that he deliberately sought out multiple memorial statues to disrespect them, even going so far as to search for replacements when one was inaccessible. This calculated behavior has left people calling for serious repercussions. Another commenter highlighted a disturbing comment Somali made in a public discussion, where he allegedly expressed hatred toward Asians and claimed to find satisfaction in doing harm. These actions and statements have led many to believe his remorse is nothing more than an act. South Korean parliamentarians are reportedly feeling the pressure from the public to push for the harshest possible sentence. The collective outrage has reached a boiling point, with citizens and leaders alike determined to ensure Somali doesn't walk free. The actions he has taken, which many view as deliberate and harmful, have made it clear that leniency isn't on the table. The overwhelming sentiment from the public is that Somali's behavior is beyond unacceptable, and they demand justice. Whether he can endure the challenges of prison life is another question entirely. What's certain is that his actions have left a lasting negative impact, and many are eager to see accountability brought to the forefront. What do you think? Share your thoughts below.
The Korean comfort women were prostitutes that were used by the American soldiers. They were used by, they were illegally paid, honestly.